Hey, if you're back, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. I'm so happy to see you virtually. Big announcement before we get started with the video. I am so grateful for all of you interacting and following on my other platforms. My goal is to become a full-time artist, and this is my road to doing that. It's just me alone with my internal monologue, which I make my outer monologue, and my vocal stems. I love y'all, and I can't wait to keep buying from your shops and making more content. So here we go. We're gonna cut away to my intro. I just want you to know how much I appreciate you guys. I'm like genuinely trying to cry about it. Hi, I'm Sophia and I draw animals, and today we are drawing borzois, which are, you guessed it, a funky little guy. They're actually quite large. They're Russian sighthounds, Russian hunting sighthound dogs. They kind of got internet famous as the noodle dogs. That's very hard for me to say. Holy crap. Noodle dogs. They're so goofy, even though they rank high on the elegance scale of the dog breed's official website. I don't know what to tell you. The people have spoken. We're gonna draw them. I'm actually gonna sketch off camera today, and then we're gonna move on, and I will bring you guys back in once I have sketches and we can do line art and some light coloring. I want to focus mostly on values and placement of things. This is a study page for both of those things. Part borzoi. I cannot speak today. I cannot speak today. Somebody help me. Somebody save me. Part borzoi study, part light study. So off we freaking go, you guys. Hey, it's voiceover time. Okay, so I did do the sketches off camera today. I already told you that, but I'm telling you again. I'm trying something new where I don't sketch on camera, clearly. I was finding that I was getting a little bit nervous while sketching. I was kind of getting way too into it because I was worried about it looking bad. But also, I tend to sketch in colors, primarily blue and red, which are very hard, like a light blue and a light red. It's very, very hard for the camera to pick up, so it just felt like I was wasting storage while recording, and then usually when I'm sketching too, you can't really see what's going on because I'm doing a lot of erasing, and it's very, very light so that I don't have it appear underneath. So it just didn't feel worth it to film the sketching. Who knows? I might still do it if I do like a very long form thing, but we will see how that goes. Either way, I'm taking like all the pink markers I own and just laying some color. I have this for some reason it says it's like a purple color on the outside. It comes out very, 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 very light pink, and it's also dyeing, but I refuse to give it up. So I just use it pretty roughly and use it as a kind of shading device. I don't know what I'm doing there, but I refuse to let this marker dye, so we're using it today. The sketch that we have right here is actually my favorite of the entire page. It's no surprise considering it was the most referenced of the pictures that I drew. So it looks a lot more realistic, even though it's still a little stylized. The other ones I definitely let myself doodle a little bit and kind of stop looking and just try to remember what was going on with the borzois and their noses. I tried. I don't think that I did the noses justice. They're just so long. They're so inexplicably long. Like, looking at these pictures back, I definitely did not do them justice. They are like at least a few inches longer than I had drawn them here, which sounds so strange to say, but that dog has a really long nose, which makes sense because most dogs are bred for a purpose. Obviously these are hunting dogs. They were used during like Russian nobles hunting festivals, so they need a very large jaw to get whatever they need to get, and a large nose, like a large snout, to pick up as much scent as they need. So they're very cool. They're very, 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 very nimble. Some of the top speeds are like almost 40 miles per hour. 36 miles per hour is a usual average for how fast they can go at a full sprint. 36 miles per hour is insane from a dog. And we have some fast dog breeds out there. You know, they almost went extinct, actually, because, okay, bringing this back to the Russian Revolution, when those nobles were being revolutionized, they actually slaughtered a lot of the dogs, which is really sad. Poor dogs. They were just happy and running and listening to their owners. But yeah, they were gonna drive this breed of dog to extinction, which is kind of wild. And I always think about the fact that, like, we have not lost dogs. Dogs are not nearing extinction, but breeds of dog have gone and will go extinct. And I never know which one will which one will go extinct. Like borzois almost did eons ago, and now they're here. They're more famous than ever, and they're memed. Like, it's kind of insane to see what almost happened but did not. On a less gruesome and more fun note, they come in a lot of colors, like basically any color you can think of. They come in brindles. They come in different shades of browns and creams and white and all that jazz. They're also relatively high on the friendliness and affection scale. According to the American Kennel Club, they are really low on the trainability because they are self-willed and quote-unquote cat-like in their stubbornness. And on top of that, they have super high energy levels and super high mental stimulation needs. Because why wouldn't they? They are literal hunting dogs that can run 36 miles per hour. Also, if you hear like cooing in the back, it's definitely these pigeons. We have pigeons and doves that are courting each other, that are like rekindling their love, because some of them are already pairs. But there are also some who are trying to get it on. So apologies if you hear the hooting and hollering in the background. That is them. You win some, you lose some. That is the price to pay for having birds in my bird feeder and a nice pretty open window. Alright, back to the art stuff, because we have a lot to cover. That's actually a lie, not really. We're still kind of doing the line art. But I am lining in this pink alcohol marker. It's an Ohuhu pen. It honestly, okay, my biggest complaint with those so far, we're gonna do a slight review right now. They do not match the color on the outside, like, at all. The ink color is, like, just so far off, it's almost ridiculous. Otherwise, it's a pretty juicy pen, and for small area work, it's not an issue, which is basically what I do. I don't tend to do full drawings and markers, so I don't need something that blends exceptionally well. They're fine. I think they're a good starter marker. It's whatever. Will I buy them again? Probably not. I also know that I haven't really been producing anything major this last month, but April-ish and May-ish are so incredibly busy for my family and my life for some reason, and then the transition from spring to summer has been very strange, and transitions in general always get me weird in the brain, so there's just a lot that's been happening, and I haven't produced anything that I want to produce. So that's a little disappointing, but I'm working on it. I'm trying to get back in the groove of things and keep posting through it all, because I don't want that to fall through. I've been very consistent, and I'm very proud of myself for being this consistent. But all in all, I'm just finishing up with a marker over here, and now I'm going back in with that dry-ass marker and getting some little shadows in, just kind of rounding out to give some dimension to the dogs, and then I'm going to go in and kind of differentiate their coat types as much as possible with this very limited color palette. I think I'm going to continue to sketch in monochromes and do little sketch spreads in monochromatic color palettes, that's what I'm looking for. I used to do it a lot in my old sketchbook. It was one of the things that helped me boost my confidence in my sketching, and also it was just generally really, really fun, and I like what came out. I actually really do like this page at the end. I didn't seem as happy with it, but now that it's settled for a couple days, because this is now editing Sophia, I do like it more than I did initially. The pinks are really, really cute. I don't use pink very often, so this was a challenge for me. I tend to use a lot of blues and greens. I'm very comfortable with that color. Not pinks. Pinks and purples kind of get away from me because they're almost mixtures of colors, so figuring out what looks good next to them is harder for me. I want to talk about a little bit of my art development over this year and a half. I didn't start documenting my last sketchbook until about midway through, because that's when it's really started having an uptick in quality and just joy and motivation. And now I document this square sketchbook a lot. I'm only a few months into it. I think about 2 or 3 months? 3 months, I think, into that sketchbook, and there's already so much of it done. It's halfway now, actually. So that's very, very cool for me. That alone is development. That means I've been drawing consistently enough in this last few months that I have almost like quadrupled my speed of drawing. It's insane. Or just my general consistency, I mean. But I am noticing some improvements. I talked a little bit about how I'm trying to build line confidence. I'm a very, very hatchy, scratchy person with my pencils. And even with pens, I think I like to treat things like pencils because I assume and cling to the eraser. I assume I can erase and I cling to the eraser. It's a problem. It's kind of why I moved away from digital, because that undo button was too easy to reach. So I was just taking so long to figure out how I can get as perfect as possible, and I was losing my soul, losing my energy, and losing my motivation within the process. Now, I find that it's a lot easier for me to sit with something I don't like as much. Like even some of these drawings on this page, I don't like as much. I wish they were better, but it's not hurting my feelings the way that it used to. Before, it would really get me down. I'd get so mad, I'd get so frustrated, and I would just not pick up a pencil for like lengths, like months at a time. And now I find that I'm still picking up pencils, even though I'm doing many more things than I was before. And it's just really nice to know that I mentally am recovering a little bit from my weird art block. Now, it's not to say it's always easy. I still go through times where I just have no inspiration or have no motivation, but I'm definitely in a lot better place than I was a year and a half ago. I've also started 2 sketchbooks right now. I have a baby sketchbook that's 6 inches by 6 inches, so another square sketchbook. It is actually an Ohuhu sketch pad. The paper is very, very thick, which I do like, so I do want to use some marker on there just to see how it holds the ink. But I've just done some pencil sketches and some pen sketches on there, and I'm keeping them at a maximum of 5 minutes. So one way, like going left to right, I am going with 3-minute sketches and just doing several to a page, or just one large one to a page, and going backwards, I'm going to be doing 5-minute sketches and or 10-minute sketches. I've been doing 5 minutes though. It's a little unnatural to draw on the left side of the paper, but it's been very fun, and I can't wait till they meet at the middle and then cross over and I finish both sides. I am considering starting a 3rd sketchbook. I have a very large 8x11, I think, sketchbook, and it was recommended to me through a YouTube comment. I think it's the Crescent art brand, something like that. But it was pretty affordable. The paper feels really, really nice. It is a large size, which was kind of scared me, but my girlfriend pointed out that I do draw a lot of things on the page when I do studies, so having more space might benefit me. And honestly, it's a new challenge. I have not had a large sketchbook since I was a kid. On top of that, I'm really highly considering using that as a studies sketchbook. I really want to learn how to draw people and portraits and stylize people, because all I want to do is draw fan art, and I have no capability of drawing fan art. Well, to be fair, I could draw it badly, but that would make me upset. Oh god. I need to do it either way, don't I? I don't like being bad at things. I really hate being bad at things. And people are very easy to mess up because human proportions are very strange. And they're so different between each person, and one little feature can make or break you when recognizing a character's actor or whatever. And it makes me nervous. It makes me nervous, but I want to do it. Maybe I'll start that tonight. Just fucking go for it, I guess. Would you guys watch a girl draw people badly? Because I really want to draw people, and if I can record it, it'll make me do it. But would you watch it? It would literally be like day 1 of me drawing day 1 of me learning to draw people so that I can draw fan art. Day 2, etc., etc. Yeah. I've been avoiding and running away from learning human anatomy for literally 20 hello? How old am I? 22 years. I just forgot I turned 22. Yeah, I just can't run from it anymore. There's too many things I want to do, and human anatomy, it lays a lot of groundwork, especially for illustration. I want to get into children's book illustration one day, and maybe illustrate my own children's book. Things like that. So these are fundamentals I have to have. I'm self-taught, so I have to do it for myself. I just have a lack of conviction for a lot of things, and it's time to just have a little bit of discipline. And I don't wanna, but like I gotta. Also, I'm not being entirely honest. I do want to draw a children's book one day. I'm gonna do that one day. But more importantly, I need to draw Hanagram and Hunger Games fan art. Like, I can't do that without some fundamentals, and I'm responsible for teaching myself fundamentals because I'm self-taught. It is time. I need to draw Mads Mikkelsen, and I need to draw Hugh Grant. I think that's his name. It's Hugh something. I need to draw them, possibly kissing on the lips. Okay, and then on top of that, if I get those like skills under my belt, I can also draw for the furries. And the furries, they are willing to drop some cash. I love you, furries. Please, one day, give me a chance to just draw for you and commission me. That is not a right now activity, though. I have to focus. We have to learn the things, take baby steps, and I am just impatient. Alright, now, after much shuffling around, I'm going with my personal color pencils, and I think I just chose this one pinky, redishy, dark color to line everything out and just add some extra depth. I'm mostly coloring noses, coloring in eyes, and then doing some light line work around the ears and fur and stuff, but it was mostly just for show. I just kind of like giving a one more color to darken up the outline. Especially in these like monochromatic sketches where I have 2 pinks that I'm using for everything else, and then just one pencil, one thin line that can kind of cut through all the noise. This is another artistic tangent, but I'm very, very interested in pastels right now. They have these like silky crayons, is what they're calling them. They're just slightly cheaper pastels. I'm very interested in cheap pastels specifically and crayons right now. I think I might actually buy myself a pack of crayons and see what I can do with them. A new material always reignites the spark for me, and on top of that, I like seeing a lot of texture, and crayons by default have a lot of texture. But like a 64 pack of crayons would be amazing, like fulfilling my childhood dream of using every single color in the box. There's actually an artist that I follow that uses crayons for their primary just medium. They do pet portraits and stuff like that. It's super cool. It's super colorful. There is still a lot you can do with such a simple and cheap material, and I think that would be very fun for me to experiment with. I've also kind of been interested in gouache recently. The paint. I have not painted in, oh god, I think a decade. Definitely more than I have. Remember when I said I had a 7-year art block? Yeah, girl. I definitely painted before that and then stopped and then had a 7-year art block. So it's been a while since I picked up a brush for anything. I don't have any real technical skills there. It's a lot of me just messing around and using what little knowledge I do have to produce something. I'm not saying they're necessarily very bad, it's just they're not technically the standard I'd like them to be if I was going to start painting now. Now, lots of words just to get to the point. I'm very interested in gouache. I like the way that it layers. It can be very opaque. I prefer things that are opaque a lot of the times. I do mess around with some sheer colors and stuff like that, but I love the chunky layering of opaque colors on top of each other, which is why I gravitated towards those acrylic paint markers, because it was very fun to lay down some color in it and appear the way that it should, instead of blending into the background or making things a little bit muddy. So, I'm thinking I might eventually get myself a mini palette of gouache, but I'm definitely going to start off with some wax crayons or wax pastels, things like that, or some even oil pastels as my first dip into that realm of new materials, because I've been basically a marker and pencil girl for a very long time. Now is when things get a little bit crazy with the markers. This marker was much more juicy than I thought it was going to be. I didn't realize just how hot pink it was. It's fun. I work with it. I wind up giving it that little spotted cow print look thing with the dark muzzle and everything. It's really cute at the end of it. It just took some working because I was frightened when I first put that color down. I was like, I don't know how I'm supposed to say this right now. I really don't. But I did. And it's okay. I wind up just dipping that dark hot pink thing around everywhere, just so that it doesn't look as out of place. I always wonder, because I am the kind of person who consumes a lot of super long form content as well as a lot of short form content. Are you guys interested in full length, uncut, no commentary videos? Like ones for sleeping or anything? I'm thinking of doing a second channel where I post full drawings, no cuts. And if there is cuts, it's because I sneezed or like burped or something. But something very, very calming to like go to sleep. And also just to document how long these pieces really do take, because my time between pieces fluctuates a lot. And I know that's realistic for a lot of people. Personally, I've been really into like those carpet cleaning videos as well as Minecraft long plays where there's no commentary, just the sounds and the person doing all the tasks as slowly or as quickly as they want. But I do love a long draw with me, especially if I'm doing things like laundry or just moving around the room. I like some ambiance, I like some background sound. Yeah, those are kind of what I've been into recently for like nighttime videos and calming videos, as well as long form baking content. We like to watch Under a Tin Roof a lot. They do super duper long form baking videos where they show all the ingredients and it's very slow paced and quiet. I have a lot of things I'm going to be doing this next few weeks. Next video is going to be a fully fledged drawing video. I haven't done that in a little bit of a while. I think the last 4 videos, or actually more like 5 or 6 videos, only 2 of them have been finished pieces. I think it was it the squid and then that blue heron piece I did? The rest have been kind of sketch videos, concept videos, etc., etc. So this next week, it will be oh, Haley, if you're listening to this, please stop listening right now. Thank you, my love. I'm going to be drawing a red fox. There's this image with the red foxes with their jaw wide open. I'm debating if I want to do a pomegranate or a heart or something like in the space between, not in the jaws, but in the space between. I like the idea of it looking like it's gonna chomp on it. I don't know. I don't have a mock-up sketch. I have a mini doodle on my sticky notes right now. But that's what we're gonna be doing. I'm gonna be working on her birthday gift. I already have her anniversary gift on the way. Birthday gift is coming up. We're the worst, so we already buy each other stuff well in advance. So we tend to like to try and make each other gifts for things like this. So, moving on, I'm going to be making some sticker sheets, so keep your eyeballs peeled. I'm going to be making a Stars and Sparkles sheets, a Slugs and Snails sheet, minnows and or tetras, so some small fish. These are all for filler stickers, by the way. And, what else did I have? I think that was it. Something like that. I love filler stickers. Luckily my manufacturer, Sticker Blitz, does things waterproof, so I will make sure they are waterproof because I'm lazy. I put all my stuff through the dishwasher. Therefore, it has to be weatherproof, waterproof, all that resistant thingies. It's very important to me that they are durable. So, I'll be doing that. Yeah, I'm excited because it'll be a lot simpler while still producing something that you guys can have a lot of. I definitely want to use up the space as much as possible so there is not an ounce of that sheet being wasted. Alright, it's finishing touches time, so I'm going through and adding any other layers of color that I'd like to add. I've already done my white highlights with my juicy, juicy, juicy gel pen, and we're pretty much just finishing up here. It's nothing special, nothing crazy, just some pink dogs on a page. I am definitely going to go back and draw some more on the page to the left just to fill it up. I might just draw over those and not even try to erase those other drawings that are just, I think, little doodles to practice dog faces before I started referencing. But who knows? I'm going to go back and draw some more on my own time. These little studies are definitely making me better as an artist, and I'm gonna have to start leaning into some harder studies. I'm getting a little too comfortable with what I can do in short time frames and whatever. It's usually like mammals are really easy for me. Just animals in general tend to be easier, but it's time to challenge myself. It's time to grow And I'm excited to bring you guys along with me because there's a lot we need to do this month. And a lot is going to happen this month. It's me again, and it is actually, it's almost midnight. I'm pretty tired. I know that's not too late for a lot of people, but I am a sleepyhead. I'm a grandpa at heart, and this is late for me. So here's the drawing. Plural. I'm so mad the rest didn't turn out like this. I think I should have just drawn less dogs and done larger versions of them. I know that it's a sketch page. Like, it's okay. All in all, I think it was a successful mission. I kind of got some stylizations I didn't think I was gonna get in there. And on top of that, I practiced my little hatching, shading technique thing that I've been kind of messing around with. And I did a few coat types, a few coat colors for the borzois. That's kind of all we have for today. I will give you a little shot of it up close. Just want to remind you guys that my Etsy shop is like 40% off almost everything in there. Postcards, all of them are 40% off. They are free shipping as usual, as always. Hello. Sounds were made, not a fan of that. And then most of the stickers, only except for the new arrivals, are also 40% off, free shipping. I don't like making you guys pay for shipping. I'd rather just include it in the cost of the manufactured thingy thing. So please consider checking that out. The sale's gonna go for, I think, 3 more weeks. I would like to pack some more orders. I've already packed several, so it's very exciting. And thank you guys for tuning in for a late night session. We will be drawing more. I will not be falling off the face of the earth. I plan to stay. You know the drill. Drink some water, take care of your mind, take your meds, and I will see you in the next video where we draw some more freaking animals. What? Who would have guessed?